Hey guys, this is Tyler. So before we get into the final part of our Game of the Year show, first off, thank you guys for listening. Whether it's iTunes, YouTube, click on a link on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else. But thanks for listening. Second, this show had to be pretty heavily edited down. Unfortunately, we were a little over 7 hours into the Skype call before we even pressed record on this podcast. So Justin and I pretty much were drinking the entire time, and Justin might have had one or two more than maybe he needed. So a lot of things he was saying weren't making a lot of sense. So I had to cut out a lot of his reasons why he picked the games he did. All the 5 through 1 are in there for him, but the reasons he liked those pretty much were cut out. So I want to say sorry for that. Hopefully stuff like that doesn't happen again. It's happened to all of us. We've all done it. Well, Gables hasn't. I've done it a few times. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Sorry for the way the show kind of ended up, but I hope you guys still enjoy, and we'll talk to you next week.
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six-pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six-pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six-pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 246 of the Drunk Dashers podcast. I'm your host, as always. I am Tyler. I just remembered who I am now. And joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Tyler, I am just fine. Man, I'll tell you what, man. Once we're done with these podcast stuff, man, I am going to be just crashing so hard.
Yeah. So, quick reminder to everybody that might not remember. Oh, Justin's here. How you doing, Justin?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing swell. Jesse's a little drunk.
Yeah. It's true.
It is true.
I am drunk.
It is damn true. Yeah, I'm doing fine. But we are recording our pretty much multiple episodes in one night. It is our part 2 of the Game of the Year show. Yeah, I'm with you though, Gables. It is about almost 3 in the morning, our time. Almost 1 in the morning, your time.
Yep.
We are on the final episode of the night for recording wise. About 6 hours. About 6 hours into starting the Skype call. But on this week's episode, we're gonna go through 5 through 1 and our honorable mentions for Game of the Year. Excuse me. Woo, hiccups. But yeah, so 5 through 1 this year for the rest of for 2017 for last year. It's still 2017 as we're recording this, and then also honorable mentions. I think the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna do 5 and 4, and then before going to number 3, we'll all do our honorable mentions.
All right.
But as a recap, real quick, I want to go through. It's been I don't know, half an hour for us. Been a week for you guys listening. But to go through last week's numbers or our picks. Number 10 for me is number 10, South Park Fractured But Whole. Number 9, Life is Strange Before the Storm. Number 8, Evil Within 2. Number 7, Destiny 2. Number 6, Zelda Breath of the Wild. For Gables, his number 10 is Cuphead. Number 9 is Ghost Recon Wildlands. Number 8 is ARMS. Number 7 is Destiny 2. And number 6 is Puyo Puyo Tetris. I can't do it. It's been a year. I still can't say it out loud. Puyo Puyo Tetris. That's the only way I can do it. And Justin, his numbers, number 10, ARMS. Number 9, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Number 8, Horizon Zero Dawn. Number 7, Wolfenstein 2. And number 6, Metroid Samus Returns. So once again, this week we're going to do 5 through 1 plus honorable mentions. We're going to start off though in the same order which we left off. It's going to be me going first. Then it's going to be Gables, and it's going to be Justin. So starting off with me at number 5. My number 5 game of the year is Wolfenstein 2. It's something I talked about a couple weeks ago on our year in review show. It's just a game of crazy fucking moments, man. It's just it somehow like it's crazy, but then it builds and it gets crazier as it goes on. And then on top of like just the story and the characters and BJ Blazkowicz, and you meet characters like Grace and his her husband. You get your crazy ass fucking wife who's like 8 months
whore.
Who's 8 months pregnant and
This baby.
and with twins, 8 months pregnant with twins, and
You mean
out there,
the other baby.
and out there fucking like still fighting and killing Nazis in the middle of the war, and the combat itself too is awesome. Like
Yes, it is.
it's very
Yes, it is.
it's very Doom-esque in a way.
Yes.
Where like it's not as good
Old
as Doom.
school.
Yeah, it's not as good as Doom, but like
But either was Wolfenstein.
no, but they do a good job of incorporating some of the great things about Doom 2016 into this game, making it a little more fast paced, a little more
Dumb as fuck.
Yeah, if you stop, you die.
Great.
It's great. Yeah, if you stop, you die. But my biggest point with my only real complaint with this game is the fact that you don't really tell. Sometimes when you're getting hit, it's like you're just fighting and fighting and fighting. You think you're fine. All of a sudden, you look at your health and your shield, and you realize you have like 10 health and nothing else for shield. And it's like I was just like 100. I had fucking 200. Now I'm down to 4. What the fuck happened? But no, it's just a game that it's crazy from the beginning, and it somehow gets crazier as it goes, and it still somehow finds a way to top itself. And there's so many fucking crazy moments in this game that, without spoiling anything, it's just fuck, man. Like it just does some shit that I don't think any other game would be comfortable with touching, like anywhere near.
What?
I don't want to spoil it. You gotta play the game, Justin.
Oh yes.
But no, there's so many like.
I agree with you. I just want to know what. Yeah, I hear you though.
But there's like so
Don't
many things
don't
that like.
spoil this though, because it is important.
Yeah, no, and like I said this at the time when it first came out, killing Nazis hasn't been this fun since probably like 1945. Yeah, it's been a long time since killing Nazis has been this fun. So
I feel kind of bad for him.
I don't. It's Nazis. Fuck them.
I know.
Fuck Nazis.
I know.
Especially Wolfenstein.
I know.
But no, it's just man.
But
Like-
the benefit of the doubt.
No, they don't deserve it. They're Nazis.
Mm.
No, like go to New Orleans and like the KKK and the Nazis are working together.
Like down in Texas and
Yeah, and like you go to Texas and go to New Mexico and this game is just it's a tough game to talk about without really spoiling it, because I think the peak parts of this game is the story and the characters,
yeah.
and you
No,
can't
I
really,
agree.
you can't really talk too much about spoiling.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Tough one to talk about.
yeah, but no, it's Wolfenstein 2, and I don't really want to say too much more because I feel it's a game that everybody should play.
Yes.
And I don't want to spoil it because I want more people to play it.
Yes.
But yeah, that is my number 5 is Wolfenstein 2. What about you, Gables?
Oh, Pokemon Ultra Sun.
Oh, shit. Okay. Honestly, I want to say real quick, I didn't think this would make your top 10 list.
Oh, I know, right? Well, the thing about it is the reason why it's on my top 10 list is because, for one, it does do better improvements than what the Sun and Moon did for the year previous. It's also, I would consider, probably the best of in terms of that. But also, it's because of how they make things. The Game Freak has made it a little bit more convenient for people to start off the game and go through and get specific creatures that you can build a party around and do this a lot quicker and a lot more like fluidly to progress through the game a little bit more than, say, like how Sun and Moon was originally portrayed. So, for in and of itself, yes, I still haven't finished the game in and of itself, but what I have played, which is pretty close to around the 30-hour mark, it's still a good game. Good enough to where it's on my top 10 list, so it's like that's That's just pretty much what I got.
But no, sorry, buddy. Thank you for that. Josie,
I like that.
what's your number 5 game of the year?
Number 5 is oh, what the fuck? I haven't beat this game yet, but I love this game. Wolfenstein 2.
You already have it on your list. You're at number 7.
There you go.
Oh god. It's Cuphead.
Okay.
I really am so sorry.
It's alright, buddy. Go
No,
ahead.
dude, Cuphead is awesome.
It
It's
is.
fucking crazy. It's fucking like, you can't be with me. You can't be with shit. Fuck you. It throws you to the fucking curb. I love that about it. I love it. It's a piece of shit. And, Wolfenstein's a great fucking game. It's hard on its people that it recommends to playing the game. And I dig that. I respect that. Yeah. I respect Wolfenstein, and yeah. This is not Wolfenstein. This is Cuphead.
Cuphead. Yeah.
Cuphead! No, seriously though. Cuphead is fucking amazing. It's not Wolfenstein at all.
It is not Wolfenstein at all, no.
It's its own game, and it's fucking hard. It's fucking honest. It's fucking brutal. It's fucking awesome. I love Wolfenstein. I don't know. I love
Cuphead.
I love Cuphead, man.
Justin's broken. We broke Justin Gables.
I know. I know. The mixture of the sleep deprivation and the alcohol is really playing to him now.
Drink some water, Justin.
I love Cuphead. I love Cuphead.
Cuphead's good.
Yeah. And Wolfenstein, yeah.
Wolfenstein's a good number 7.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
There you go. Cuphead deserves more than I said. You all know it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, well then. My number 4 game of the year is Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
Hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to hear this.
Okay. So, it was, like I said, it was a game, like I talked about a few weeks ago. It's a game that came out of nowhere for me. Like,
Yeah.
it's a game that came out and I had no idea what it was. No real interest in it.
No previous conceived ideas, no franchise.
There was no
nothing.
hype, no anticipation for it whatsoever. And when it came out, and just listen to people talk about it, I'm like, okay, this game sounds like there's something there to it. And coming out saying, the Ninja Theory is saying it's a AAA indie game. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. $30 indie, downloadable only game. And playing it, and it's 6-8 hours or so, give or take.
Well, later. Go ahead.
Okay.
I like what you're saying.
Alright, but I just like kind of like they deal, like I said a couple weeks ago, they dealt with a very sensitive topic with, like, it doesn't feel like a clickbaity. It doesn't feel cheap. Like the way they deal with like a mental illness and dealing with her, like the way like the whole puzzles and the battling concept, the combat concept, everything, the way everything works.
For real?
It does really well with it. We're like,
You're real with me right now.
yeah, no. So
I
basically,
love that. I love it.
So, like all of her mental illnesses, whether it's she's hallucinating or hearing the voices in her head or what she sees in front of her, is it real? Is it not? Like they do a good job of playing into that, and like it makes you even doubt, like while you're playing the game, like, do these things, like what I'm looking at, is that real? Is this just like, is this the game mechanic? Is this the game? Is this her? Like even you are playing while you're playing this game, you're doubting what you're seeing. and they do it in a very well-made way. Some of the puzzles at times can be like...
What about me?
Anyways.
You know I'm drunk. Wait.
What?
What?
Okay.
Wait.
Alright. Anyways. No, I sometimes the puzzles can be a little overdone. They kind of like go the well a little too much at times, especially in the latter half of the game.
Do you like them?
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're not like crazy good or anything. Like they don't revolutionize the puzzle mechanics of games. But I think like overall the battling and the combat and the boss fights are pretty well done. I think there's only a handful throughout the part of the game of the boss fights. The funny thing to me about the game is like the final boss fight, and I guess a minor spoiler for the final boss fight. So you have to fight these people over and over again, and I spent 45 minutes in this last battle.
Wow.
What battle?
The final battle of the game.
What?
And the boss fight. The final boss fight.
Sinuous?
Yeah, Sinuous.
Really?
And you're going through fighting over and over again, and I'm killing the same enemies, and I'm like, this is a really bad fight. Like, this sucks. Like, this final boss fight.
For real?
So I had to stop, and I looked it up. You have to die. Like, the final boss fight, you die. And you have to, well, you don't die, but you fail. You fail in the boss fight. And so I spent 45 minutes fighting, only to find out you're supposed to actually fail in this. So I had to, so I'm like, oh, this sucks. And I'm like, oh no, like the final cutscene happened. I'm like, oh no, this is actually really well made. It's just, I got well enough at the game, surprisingly, that I just kept fighting and stopping the enemies, defeating the enemies.
What?
That I, yeah.
No.
I know, right? I've actually got decent at the game.
No, not that. I think you're great at games. What?
Yeah. So, no, you're just supposed to lose at the game, the final boss fight. But, yeah, no, it's just...
That's interesting.
It's kind of a cool thing. It's my spoiler, I guess, for that final part. But, yeah. No, that was... I think the way they handle everything and the way that wraps up at the end is...
Does it feel like you?
No. I just think that the story that they're
No?
telling, though, for that character, Senua, the way they wrap it up, the way they explain everything, how it works, is really well done. Just kind of going over everything.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just extremely well done, and it doesn't feel like we're covering this sensitive topic for the sake of things. This feels like a really well made one of those games. They covered a sensitive topic. They do a good job of it. But yeah, that is my number 4.
Badass.
Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice.
Interesting.
What about you, Gables?
Mine would be Injustice 2.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I love fighting games. But anyways, like Injustice 2, man, the story in that game was definitely better than the original. The combat was well refined. I did love the aspects where you get to control like elements of different characters, like say like Green Arrow and Black Canary, and like some of the ones where you get to play as some of the new characters like Firestorm and Blue Beetle. Holy shit, man!
Yeah,
especially Blue Beetle, man. Blue Beetle's a fucking awesome character because his combos are so fast that I literally every time that I had to choose between like different portions, whether I could do this or do that, I would just be going with Blue Beetle because he was so like quick and agile and stuff to just dodge certain techniques, and I could just do quick combos, quick specials. But yeah, there were some fun moments in the story modes. Oh man, that climatic final thing between Batman and Superman. Like after it, this is gonna be spoilers, obviously. This is Game of the Year. Spoilers are almost like free territory right now.
Yep.
So it's like it comes down. It's like you have a final thing. It's like you either side with Superman or you side with Batman over what you should do with Brainiac's last like remains of like the civilization on Data. So it's like you want It's like I chose Batman's route because that pretty much goes forth and saves what remains of the extra things without destroying everything. So it's like just that final scene, the final things where everyone's like finally up together. They have formed the Justice League things like once more, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, now we're gonna go back to backstabbing each other. It's like, whoa, okay. But I gotta admit, it's like that game is still fun and as addicting as when I played through the original, and it's still a fantastic game. It took me like maybe 5 hours or so to. No, actually, it took me like about almost close to about 3.5 or 4 to go through the entire single player. But yeah, it's definitely a game I'm going to return back to. But it's the content and what it portrayed itself as is definitely one of the best of the year, personally.
But Justin, what's your number 4 game of the year? It is Sonic Mania.
Yeah. Sonic Mania.
Before we jump into number 3s, we're gonna jump into our honorable mentions. I made a top 15 list this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Number 15, Late Shift. It is a full motion video game, live action, made by Wells Interactive. They made The Bunker last year. It's a fun game.
Bunker.
It's 90 minutes. It's about a 90-minute game. About as long as a movie. Kind of a Telltale-esque where it's you make decisions, and the story changes as you go. But yeah, it was a fun little game. I don't, it's not amazing or anything, but I think it's a fun little game to play. I think it's not super expensive, $15-20. But number 14, Telltale's Walking Dead: New Frontier. It's the 3rd season of Telltale's Walking Dead game. I'm a big fan of the new characters in Javi. Clementine being back is awesome. Wish we had played more as Clementine. I think that's been my biggest complaint is that you spend the majority of the time focusing on new characters and different characters, and you are focusing on Clementine. But it's fine. And then Rhyme is my number 13 game of the year.
Rhyme?
Yep, Rhyme. It is. It helps out. There's an adorable fox. You just kind of follow around throughout the main game.
Oh, yeah.
I think the final, kind of, once you realize what the game is about, it's pretty. It hits you in some emotional spots, but I think it's pretty cool overall. Like throughout the game, like solving the puzzles, there's some challenging moments, but overall, it's not like crazy hard, crazy difficult. It's fine. Once you start to get a little frustrated at times, but I figured out the answer before I got. Nice. I didn't get Cuphead angry. Nice. Yeah. Number 12 is Injustice 2. It's probably my favorite NetherRealm game so far. Out of the 4. I like
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I like the more Mortal Kombat. Cool. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's I like adding a lot of new characters. All the new characters they added to the game felt like they had their own personal style to it.
I hate it.
Justin hates it.
But I love that you said it.
Okay. Justin loves that I said it, though.
No, because it means more to me. You saying it.
No, I think the story in it with Brainiac and kind of like everybody's got to settle the differences and get along together. Like the Justice League, everybody is split up. And it's kind of a coming together story for everybody. And like, hey, we need to like get together and figure this shit out before Brainiac just comes and destroys the planet. And I liked all that. I think it was fun.
Yeah.
Little game, not amazing or it was it was really good though. And number 11 is Uncharted: Lost Legacy. It's just more of Uncharted 4, which I am perfectly fine with. I love Uncharted 4, obviously.
Goonies.
Yeah, for a game that was just supposed to be DLC, it is really, really good. It's only like a 5-hour campaign, but getting to play as Chloe and Nadine, and some cool stuff pops up here and there, nice little surprises. I think it's really well done. I think it's I didn't miss Drake or Sully or any of those main characters from the game playing through it.
All right, so for a little bit of my honorable mentions and stuff like that, I just went and I played a little bit of like a Night Terrors and stuff like that. That was pretty fun for the Switch. And it's kind of like a little fun, like a run like a endless runner sort of game. You get the little aspects of where you can just attack things and stuff like that from like a medieval setting. Then it's like the other game that I have in my honorable mentions here is Kamiko. Kamiko is sort of like a Hyperlife Drifter, sort of like clone stuff. You can do a little gameplay thing with for each character like that lasts around an hour. There's like 3 different selectable characters, but I thought it was pretty fun. It was only like maybe like $5 in the eShop, but it was still pretty good, decent. Let's see. Another game that was on my honorable mentions list was Windjammers. Now I got to admit though, at first Windjammers is definitely that type of game where it's going to be like a little bit kind of a little bit to get adjusted to because of how fast paced the game is. I mean, quintessentially, you're just playing like a specific type of like beach volleyball sort of like game or something like that, and you're trying to like just get the timing down and stuff so you can prevent your opponent from scoring some inside of the goal. But just playing little bits of that on the Vita and like PS4 this year was really, really fun. Let's see. I'm just rechecking my list, see if I've actually forgotten anything. Let's see. Oh yeah, the last game on my honorable mentions list is Snake Pass. Snake Pass is definitely one of those fun games that is sort of like inspired by like Rare in terms of how you can get through and like it's inspired by Rareware, the old school Rareware teams, because of the design of the game. It looks like something that they would have created, but the gameplay of it is kind of takes a bit to get adjusted to because of the whole aspect of the snake controls and stuff, and you have to be really thorough what you're doing. But yeah, you know what? That's pretty much it for my honorable mention stuff.
Well, very cool, man. I think Justin's going to sleep right now.
I see.
So I think we might skip over his honorable mentions while he takes a nap.
Okay.
All right. So my number 3 is top 3. It's tough. It's very tough this year. But my number 3 is Super Mario Odyssey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So, I mean, it's fucking. I don't know. What can you say about it? It's not one of those it's like Breath of the Wild. It's an all-time great game, I think. It's much like Breath of the Wild to a certain extent. Like I love the fact that you can play the game for 20 minutes. You can do a lot of stuff in this game. You can play the game you can pick it up, play for 20 minutes, and you can knock out fucking half a dozen stars if you're lucky enough, or even a couple stars. You just wander around the world and just find shit to do, and you just knock it out. I think that this game, I have no complaints, but like just from a like happiness standpoint and joy, like this game, like I had a smile on my face the entire time.
Yeah.
Just absolutely adored playing this game, and it was so much fun. I'm happy that this game I'm frankly a little concerned about. I was like, ooh, like how's this gonna work? Ooh, 900 stars or whatever there is, power moons, whatever you want to call them in this game. How's it gonna work? And the fact that they nailed it, and they for me personally, I've never been haven't been a big Mario person in general. Like I love Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario Maker to a certain extent, but I've never been a big Mario fan in general. And they just fucking nailed it with this game, and I absolutely fell in love with the game, adored this game so much. The fact that excuse me, sorry. The fact that's number 3 on my list is kind of upsetting to me. Just because I think this game deserves more. It deserves to be higher.
Yeah.
It's one of those game of the generation type of games. And it's so good. It's so much fun. Like there's no complaints I have 0 complaints about this game at all. I have nothing to dislike about this game, and it's number 3 on my list. And like that's insane to me. Justin's asleep right now, so I'm gonna look at his list. His number 3 is Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
So that Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You like it?
Yeah.
It's good. Justin likes Resident Evil 7. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Gables. What's your number 3 game?
My number 3 game is Sonic Mania. Now, Sonic Mania, I gotta admit, man, it's like this totally blew my expectations out of the water as far as like Sonic games are concerned. Up until that point, I really liked like Sonic 1, 2, and 3 on the Genesis, and Sonic and Knuckles as well. But this is the first time that in a long time where I feel like, yeah, this is the definitive Sonic game. It's a fan-made thing by Christian Whitehead and stuff in collaboration with the main Sega producers. But I gotta admit, though, it's like the game in of itself, it runs smoothly. The game isn't really as difficult. There's different ways to beat each levels and stuff. And I felt that this is one of the few games where I literally just like I smiled ear to ear throughout that entire experience because it was fast, it was intuitive, and it really provided quite a bit of entertainment. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Well, that's very cool, man. Yeah, it's from everybody I've listened to or everybody I've heard talk about it or read about it. Sounds like pretty much anybody who's played it has fell in love with that game. So yeah, it's cool, man. That Sonic Mania is number 3. My number 2 this year though is maybe surprise a lot of people is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Wow, you like that more than Odyssey? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? Justin's surprised too.
No.
No, it's just like I said, it's the most fun experience I've had this year. Just from a gameplay standpoint, just like hop into a game and just had fun, you know. And then that's what game's about. It's just having fun, and I put over 30 hours in this game into like a 3-hour day, 3-hour span.
Wow.
Or 3-day span, and like I remember like like Switch tells you about how many hours you spend in playing a game, and I'm like, I probably spent like 10-15 hours playing this game, and then like I looked at my time and it's like over 30 hours played. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, what? Like, it didn't feel like it. I put over 30 hours to it, and I felt like I put a third of that time into it.
Yeah.
And this game is just, like, and maybe it's, like, it's the XCOM light aspect to it. Like, the XCOM, I like that game style. I just don't like how harsh it is and how hardcore it can be at times. Unforgiving it can be. But I like that style. I like that strategy, turn-based style that it has. It's a lot of fun, and just the fact that like it's a Mario game with that, like Ubisoft nailed that style, that charm of Mario,
Yeah.
and also the fact that you have, like they made Rabbids kind of cool and fun to play as, and I like them, is another feat in itself. Yeah, no, it's a really good game. It's a really well made game, and I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, so I mean, this is when I was making this list. This is not a game I thought would be number 2 at the time, but it is. Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is my number 2 game of the year.
Nice.
Looking at Justin's list real quick, he's asleep. Is Mario Odyssey is his number 2 game of the year.
Wow.
So that is number 2. What's your number 2 game of the year?
My number 2 game of the year is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Well, people, you probably wouldn't have initially thought that because of like how much I've enjoyed playing the game on the Switch. But I gotta admit, going through the temples, exploring all the terrains and stuff, I mean, the main mission stuff, yeah, I can understand if you didn't like playing a lot of the Divine Beast stuff. But at the same point and stuff, having that freedom of exploring like you usually would have done like in the original Legend of Zelda on the NES just had that appeal to where I was literally spending hours at a time just investigating different things across Hyrule Field and then just collecting little medallions and then finally getting to the Divine Beasts. Hell, one of the first dungeons I actually ended up going through was like one of the hardest ones in the entire game. I still don't know how I managed to do that, but apparently the one with Naboo, with like the Barbosa, I think her name was one of the hardest ones inside that game. But yeah, just the aspects of collecting different equipment, collecting different inventory, like items in order to craft for specific things, like cooking, this, that, just a little side things that added up to an experience that felt really fun. It felt really fun and it felt challenging. I definitely was on my toes the entire time, because if not, I would have been killed like by anything pretty much. But yeah, that's my number 2 game of the year, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Well, very cool, man. Well, my number 1, I think at this point, no surprise to anybody, it is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
To me, I think as far as a world goes, it is the most fleshed out world out there. I think just the moment to moment action in this game is bar none the best. Just walking around the world, and just walk around the world, like there's always something going on. There's combat. There's people walking around. There's something of consequence, almost. Maybe not consequence, but there's something going on. Almost, you can't go more than 2 or 3 minutes walking around without finding something to do. And I think, and the combat itself is great. The side quests are really good. There's like I like the fact that they separated like main quests, side quests, and errands. Like errands are just like bullshit fetch quests, and then like there's like side quests. They're like these have there's a little bit of weight to them, and then there's main quests obviously that are very important. I just like the way they broke all that stuff up, and yeah, I just like Aloy is one of my new favorite characters of the year. I think the going around fighting with the bow and arrow is badass. Yeah, I think like in the game, last few years or so, we've had a lot of games that like use the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the best utilization of it. Yeah, man, it's just I'm fucking. The story's great. Like finding out the story of why the things have turned the way they are. Like in its core, it's meh. But like when you go in more into detail about how it happened, I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is easily my game of the year for me personally.
Really?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Looking at Juzzy's list though, it is Zelda Breath of the Wild. That is Justin's game of the year.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you, Gables? What is your game of the year?
Well, Chicom is no surprise, but Super Mario Odyssey is my game of the year for 2017.
Nice,
There's just something about it, It's like every time I power it on, I get happy. I play a couple of levels and stuff, and go through, collect the specific power moons to specific places and stuff, and it's like I just try to keep on going to where I feel like I should go. It's just one of those easy games I can pick up and play. I just love the characters, the level designs of all the different worlds of it. I love the amount of content and the amount of Easter eggs that's hidden inside each world, from like little hidden character sprites to Captain Toad. Fucking Captain Toad at each level and all that other shit. Then like all the random stuff you can capture. I mean, the moment you capture your first creature, like you capture the frog in the beginning portion of the game, it was just really, really like it was just really fun. I just got to admit, and plus including the last portions and stuff when you're on the moon, you finally beat Bowser, and all of a sudden you got to capture Bowser in order to escape. That was definitely one of my favorite gaming moments of the year, and it led up to like an ultimate experience that I probably won't forget anytime soon. And yeah, that's why Super Mario Odyssey is my number 1 game of the year.
I forgot about Captain Toad though being in Super Mario. Yeah. No, it's been Captain Toad being in Mario that's pretty awesome. It's been a great year, I think, for gaming, for everybody. Whether you like Nintendo, whether you like Sony, whether you like Xbox, whether you're just like a person that just likes everything, a little bit of everything. It's been a great year for everybody. Like I said,
Agreed.
It's been one of the best games, best of the years ever for gaming. and they have yeah, it's been awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much been our game of the year show. Juzzy's been had a little too much to drink, but he's puking in the bathroom right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be all right. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for listening to us. It's 2018. You guys been a couple of weeks in, but to us, it's still 2017. So once again, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to us this year. Sticking with us with the name change, everything changing, Troy coming in, Troy leaving, everything going on with us. It's been one of our most downloaded years ever for the podcast. So yeah, just thank you guys so much for listening to us this year. Hope so far things with you in 2018 have been great. Yeah, if you guys want to hear more from us, though, we do have a Facebook page. It is Drunkness Podcast. Sorry. Like and join us on there. On Twitch, it's Drunkness Podcast. On Twitter, at Drunkness Pod. Follow us on there. And then on YouTube, it's Drunk Nerds. Subscribe to us in there. Like our shows, the podcast goes on there. Also on iTunes, Drunk Dashers Podcast. Subscribe to us on there. Leave us a 5-star review and leave us a comment. We'd really appreciate if you did so or not. Yeah, I have been your host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everybody, hope you have yourself a fun 2018. Hope you game a lot, and I just hope that you will just crack something open and just have a good listen of us.
Excuse me. You too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.